Well, here we are. Happy November 1st. And look at who we have here on Bead Shop Live.
Hi, Kate.
Oh, Danielle, it is such a pleasure to have you. People are jumping on right and left saying hello. So we are so happy to have such a special guest today, bead designer extraordinaire Danielle Wickes. People are saying hello, and look, Beth said hello, Kate and Danielle, two of my favorites. I'm in such good company with you. Oh my goodness. Well, it's great to have you today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, it's so great. We're going to talk about your project in just a second. I'm going to catch everybody up with what we've got going on, and then we're going to jump into your project. First of all, let me ask, did you have a fun Halloween?
Yes, it rained. It was raining so much. We were all drenched, and the candy buckets filled with water, and a lot of the candy got wet.
Oh, no. I know. Oh, my goodness. Well,
yeah.
Oh, sad trombone. Oh, no.
We had to eat the wet ones first, because
right. Yeah, because you got to get those done. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Chris, of course, loves to decorate. And so our house was all decorated and gave away candy. And I found these really fun little blinky rings for the kids. So it was a Halloween extraordinaire. It was really fun. So good. Well, October's done. And now we're into November.
I can't believe it. It's going so fast.
Right. Well, we have a couple of things that launched. We've had something that launched today. I wanted to show you and everyone else that has tuned in. As you folks know, the first of the month is always our monthly mix drop. Right. So this year, the themes are drinks, and this is Dria's Manhattan is what it's called. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put my camera on here so you folks can see it. I've got Danielle's projects here too, but this is Manhattan. It's the monthly mix that just dropped this morning. Let me see if I can. There we go. Get it nice and clear for you. But this is an 8/0 mix. Dria made a fun earring, one of her signature dancer brick stitch earrings. I know, Danielle, you love to do those too, those wonderful brick stitch earrings as well. So this one's a lot of fun. Then we have a fun one coming up for December. And then I wanted to let you folks know for next year, for 2025.
Oh my gosh.
I guess that's next year. Our theme is movies.
Ooh.
For our monthly mixes. So we've already talked about some of our favorite movies. I'm going to kick off January with my most favorite movie of all time. So you folks will just have to stay tuned for that. So super fun. The Manhattan mix is already up. Thank you, JP, for that. It is perfect for autumn. It has you can go on beadshop.com and you can see the really nice little Picasso bead that's in there. It's really just a beautiful mix. I'm trying to get it focused in there, but it's really fun. I know it could also be an old fashioned, Terry, choose your poison, I guess. Right. So it's so fun. But it's a fun one. Now for you, Ms. Danielle Wickes, we had some new things launch as well. So here is, speaking of fall and the season, here are your beautiful pieces right here. Let me see if I can get them going there. With SuperDuos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Now we've got some new SuperDuo colors specifically for this project. This one's called Velvet Purple Wine. I think this is my favorite.
It's so pretty.
I just love it. And you also added a GemDuo in there as well.
Yep. Yeah, it's got 2 SuperDuo colors and a GemDuo.
Mm-hmm.
The GemDuo is a gold splash, like an ivory opaque gold.
Yeah, that's this one right here.
Yeah.
So nice. And then in the other one we've had this one hanging around for a bit, I think. It's the copper splash,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
I
These
love. So
are
good.
so gorgeous next to each other with that really cool chocolate matte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that chocolate matte is such, I love how you used the matte beads with these. And then we also, it's so funny since these are sitting out, they want to clasp
Yeah.
together. But I also noticed, and let me show you this, tell me what you think. See how the clasps, I mean, you could, instead of having the clasp all be gold, right? We did a gold. We also added this pearlized one, this silver one. I mean, you could do kind of a mix and match with these. So you had a 2-color clasp. Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
Oh, yeah, that has such a cool, like, 1920s vibe. It's very, very
Doesn't
cool.
it? Yeah. Like I'm like, wait a minute. That's kind of fun. But these just like to they like to stick together, of course, but these
They
are fantastic. These are the acrylic um magnetic clasps, and boy, are they strong.
they are.
Yeah, really nice. Really good. I love them. Janice just put up the link of everything that's new. You can find it all in our Just In. The pearl clasp, I just love this magnetic that's the pearl. Let me put them back as they should be, but this would just be really great on just a knotted pearl necklace or something like that. They would be fantastic. So they're all fun. They're all in there. They all want to huddle together like this. Well, I'm going to, Danielle, add your piece in here. And would you talk to us a little bit about your inspiration for these pieces? Now, these, let me get this down. I'm trying to get everything coordinated here. There we go. Um, I know you and Janice talked about this piece a lot when you were designing it. But do you want to talk a little bit about the inspiration for this? And we're so lucky. This is a bead shop exclusive from our buddy Danielle. And you also created your queen of the handouts. We've got a beautiful handout on both of those project pages. So don't forget, folks, to go over and download that.
Yeah, it was inspired by actually just a lot of experimenting on the bead mat. So I had, I went to your website and I purchased beads that inspired me based on the colors. And we had talked about like a few ideas in advance, certain leads to, hey, try this bead, try that bead. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of pulled in a bunch of things that I thought would be fun. And we had a meeting, I think it was maybe even more than a month ago now or more,
Mm-hmm.
we had a bunch of stuff out on the mats, half done ideas, and this was the one we chose. And it was probably the one I had the furthest along because when you've got one when you want to keep stitching.
Right.
And so this was the only one I had complete to show you. The rest were like in piece. Here's an idea. Here's something I'm kind of thinking might be cool. And then here's this finished one that I couldn't stop working on.
Right.
So,
No, I really love it. And on the wrist, when we got them, Miranda grabbed them right away and she was all, I'm going to make a choker out of this because it would really look great with chain on the end as a choker, or you could just do the stitching all the way around. But look at how great these are. These keeping in with the season, we've got cranberries and sweet potatoes, right? So
yep.
fun. And and fortunately, they're just my size. I love it. I love it. But you can see how great they're really light to wear, very comfortable, very pliable, really terrific. And you do have, if you go on the website, everyone, let me just add, I'm going to add the bead shop website here. So just bear with me here just for a second. And I want to show you all where to find Danielle's superb tutorial. So just bear with me here. Hang on. Good. And hang on. I'm going to get this. I'm doing all of this.
Yeah.
You know, you're familiar with StreamYard, how you have to click all of these.
Yeah, there's so many buttons.
That's right. So many.
From Anne, she said it looks like a poinsettia.
There we go. What's that?
Oh, Anne says it looks like a poinsettia. And I see that completely now, like with the green GemDuo in the center.
Yeah, that would be so great for the holidays for sure. Like that. That would be great. Well, here, as you can see, right on the homepage, we've got our big monthly mix Manhattan right there. And as you scroll down, my friends, you can see we've got a few things here for you to look at. Of course, our 10% Thanksgiving coupon, or our November coupon. Then we've got the scallop bracelets right here from Danielle. So let's go ahead and click on those. What you can see is you can see both of the projects right here. And let's just click into one of them. And you can see right here, I'm going to click on the handout. I'm going to share that tab. And you can see what a fantastic handout. You can go ahead and just download that handout and follow along. Danielle really is the handout queen. You can see it's all right here. There's the layout and then the thread path for all of these. So I think you are really going to be able to create a lot of fun things with this. Now, also, Danielle, just seeing in your handout right here, this, I hope you can see that. I hope I've got that centered. That component that you did with just the GemDuo on the bottom, if we turn that from the side, from a bracelet to straight up and down, that would also be an exquisite earring, wouldn't it?
Yes. It'd be so beautiful. I was holding up just like 3 repeat and thinking, oh, I could put a charm at the bottom of the ramada on the end, like a gemstone brio or something. It'd be so
yes. Oh,
gorgeous.
A gemstone brio would be perfect, like right in there, wouldn't it? Yeah. And Terry's saying that she would love to make one that looks like a sunflower, which also would be beautiful. I think that this design that you did here, or that you came up with, is extremely adaptable. These little medallions, I mean, you could even do, I don't know, you know how I like a ring.
Yeah.
You know, you could really play around with it. I really, really love it. And so we're going to go over, Danielle's going to go over the step-by-step, but I just wanted to give you folks kind of a peek into the handout. The handout is absolutely free, my friends. So you can go right to the project while you're selecting your beads. Go ahead and download that handout as well. Now, Danielle, if you don't mind, and this is a question that I have as well, if you don't mind sharing, someone was asking here, Debbie is saying, did you do your handout through Bead Tool?
In this case, no. Bead Tool I would mostly use for example, for peyote, brick stitch, or loom patterns. This was done in Adobe Illustrator, and the layout was done in InDesign. Oh,
you're so clever. Look at that.
Well, thanks. You know, Eli has been helping me. He's been teaching me things for how to improve my skills, especially with InDesign.
Oh, it's so great. Look at those illustrations. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's like Danielle just gave us a holiday gift. Love, love. Thank you so much. Love it.
Thank you so much. I'm actually really excited about that because I'm new to the program I use to do the layout, so it feels good.
Yeah, no, it looks great. And Katie Hacker is saying, and Katie, I'm so glad you're watching. We've got Katie coming up at the end of the month as well. Katie says she's loving all the adaptation ideas. How about birthstone colors? Wouldn't this be a great way to, if, you know, like with a grandparent's bracelet, you could have each one as a month for, I don't know, friends or like your birthstones for your pets or your grandchildren or your kids or whatever. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be so cute. I
So,
feel like
so cute.
you can make very colorful ones. It feels like, well, today's Day of the Dead, right? Do I have that
Yeah,
right?
it's All Saints Day, and then tomorrow we hit All Souls Day. So Dia de los Muertos is actually going to be November 2nd. I've
Number
got to make sure and light my candle for my window like my grand used to do. Yes.
I was feeling the colors here, like if you brought in some bright blues and stuff and maybe some yellows. There's
Hmm.
so many cool ways you can make this into, like, every petal could be a different color. It could be
Yeah.
chocolate. Like, it could be so many cool things.
Yeah, so good. And we've got a quick comment here from hang on, I wanted to go back here. Someone was saying that, they don't read, and I'm sorry I can't find the comment, it's lost in the stream, but that, sometimes the written instructions aren't as easy to watch it live or whatever. So that's just what we're going to do today, right? We're going to drop right into your tutorial. So this will be your video tutorial will be a great hand in hand for this piece. So I guess we should stop chatting and start making. What do you think, Danielle?
Yeah, no, it's a great comment because you guys have episode notes. That was something I learned from beadshop.com. And so I actually feel like these are episode notes. And
Right.
you could even say, like, okay, step 1 was at 11 minutes or things like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
just to help people. I used to love those. So
Yeah. Well, the episode notes, we loved doing them so much. Every week it was like Drea had to write a term paper with those
right.
episode notes. So, but a lot of our projects do have them. They're so great. And then what you folks can also do, what Ellen does after these broadcasts, you can go in and they're time stamped. So, you can bypass all of this fun chit chat at the beginning and you can mark, like you say, it's great to get that pattern or get the handout. You can make some notes on that handout and it's a good, companion for the video. But let's go ahead and Carrie's saying that she loves your studio, Danielle.
Well,
I love
you.
all that pretty stuff in the background as well. That's awesome. Love it.
Thanks.
We also, so let me go ahead. I'm going to solo your demo camera and go ahead, Danielle. Let's take it away. I'm excited to learn this with you.
Let's dive in. We were thinking the pink colorway would be the easiest to see for a demo. But I do have one that is ready to go for finishing, for putting on that last little step where we do one little different thing to end it.
Great.
So we'll jump ahead to that one when we get there.
Okay.
But so to get started, and actually the first bead you'll need is one of your GemDuos. So get those. And then you'll need some of the beautiful cranberry ones. Is it cranberry? Yeah, no, purple wine. Purple wine.
Purple wine. Oh, it's just that color though is, oh, it's delicious. It's a shade of lipstick that I need to find now.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right?
It's so cool. And so for beading thread, you want to start with about 60 inches or so. That will give you the number of repeats that I've got here, which I believe is 10. And you might even have enough to do like 11 repeats with about 65 inches of beading thread. And I'm using a 6-pound fire line, but you can use a lot of different stuff. It's really forgiving. Then as far as the needle is, so this is another tip I got from Bead Shop Tutorials, is to use, when you're working with SuperDuos, sometimes it's kind of handy to have a size 12 beading needle as you're maneuvering through them. But what I found is on this design, I can get away with a 10 anyway, because I was lazy and had a 10 and it worked.
Same. I'm like, the eye of that needle, I've got to have a 10. I know. And Emily's probably watching and saying, buck up, Richburg. But sometimes my eyes are like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think this one totally fine, because you're not trying to go through them so many times that it's like, I feel like a 10 or an 11, or it's really forgiving. So
right.
Pretty much like it's an anything goes. what you've got on the mat will work. And I don't know about you, but I don't even know what needle sometimes I'm using. I just grab the one that's poked in there.
Right.
I just like, okay, I'm going to town with this design. So the what I'm doing now is I'm working through step 1 in the handout. So if you want to write like on your sheet, this is step 1. And I'm going to string a GemDuo. And then bring that all the way through to leave a tail of about 7 inches or so. You don't need much. We're just going to weave it in. The cool thing about this whole thread path here is self-reinforcing. And I took some extra effort to make sure that as you're weaving around, it puts you where you want to be to do steps that are next.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool that way. When we get to putting on the clasp, you'll be where you need to be. This is being left right where it needs to be to reinforce the clasp at the start. So yeah, pretty cool. So from there, we're just with GemDuo, I forgot to mention there is a back and a front. So there's like a domed side, and then on the back is like a flatter side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just decided that's the top.
Mm-hmm.
So being consistent, like it doesn't matter which side you use as long as it's all the same. Otherwise, it might you'll have them being reversed from each other, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. Right. So we want them all facing the same way.
Yeah, no, it's still going to work regardless, but
Mm-hmm.
if that's important to you to have that, that's something you'll have to look at this step right here and all the subsequent.
And Kathleen made a great comment, especially with these 2-hole beads. She likes to check the holes because sometimes those holes get blocked.
Oh yeah, and here under these bright lights, I can
Mm-hmm.
see if I can see the mat through it.
Right.
I don't, but if I can't see it, then I check it. Like here's one. Yeah. That one looks okay, but
yeah. Emily is watching. Hello, Em. And she says, use what works. Since the fire line is round, the 6-pound pretty much needs a size 10 needle. Well, thank you, Em, for validating us.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yep. And so once you've got that GemDuo on, you'll want to grab 6 of your SuperDuos and feel free to check both of those holes, making sure they're good. 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's 6. And go through, from here, you just want to go through the next hole. So the GemDuos have 2 holes. And so we're just going to just leap over here and go through the other one. And for me, that's the one on the right-hand side here. And when you pull to tighten, they're going to kind of flop around a little bit. But if you pull the tail and the working side apart like this, it can help you get that nice little pop. And I'm just going to repeat that now with the second side. So I'm going to pick up 6 more. You guys have got me double checking these now.
I didn't mean to worry you, but
you know I'm checking now though. Like, hey. Well, also I'm at the bottom of my tube, so I will have selected out already all the
right.
But I always put them back in the tube as a little trap for myself later.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I inevitably, when we're doing a demo live online, I'll go through and I'll say, oh, now I have to take it out because guess what? That hole is blocked.
Yeah, exactly. So true. And so after you've strung 6 on this side, you can go back through the first hole of the GemDuo, which is the one on the left. And again, I'm just going to pull those through. And just tightening everything up again, I'm going to pull the working and tail threads apart. And now we have what looks like a little dragonfly, maybe. Okay, and so from here, there's only one part left for step 1, and that is to make a turn, just putting us in the right spot where we want to be to start the next step. And so for this step,
this was so easy.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. I think this is it's really easy, like especially the steps make it, you don't have to do like a bunch of traveling around and things like that.
Right. Oh, love.
And so we're going to need to work the outside holes of the SuperDuo now. So I want to get there. And the easiest way to do that is to go through the inside hole of the next SuperDuo. So we're just exiting that GemDuo right now. I'm going to go through the first SuperDuo inside hole, inside being the one that's on the inner ring now. And if it loosens on you, just tighten it up again. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn through that same SuperDuo to its outside hole, and it's going to change my direction. It's going to put me going back that way. And I might just tighten it up one more time. So that is the end of step 1. And in the handout, it's kind of like that.
Right. Oh, looks great.
And so now I'm going to need to grab one of the Ramada clasps, or stitch-ins, I guess was it called. Stitch endings. And in the samples I think we used bronze or gold, but I had silver handy, so I'm just grabbing that. But I do think the bronze actually is more, it's going to go more with the other beads that are in the design. But this will stand out more in the demo.
Right.
And so there's that. And you just want to go through the outside hole of the next SuperDuo that's on the other side of the GemDuo from there. So we'll just go right through here and pull that tightly and grab a bead tube with your thread. Hang on, I'm going to move this one. There we go. And so we're at the beginning of step 2 right now. And I just added that clasp right there, or stitch in, as that's called. I'm just going to tighten everything up again. You can keep doing this as you need to, just pulling that tail and the working thread apart to tighten things up if you need to.
Right. Tension is always the thing that you need to pay attention to for sure.
Yeah. And so now for some fun, I'm going to grab these 1.8 millimeter cubes, and this is the bronze color.
Oh, and look at that little bowl you have.
I couldn't resist.
I can't either. That's gorgeous. I love it.
It was so fun. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a cube in between each of the outside holes of the SuperDuo as we travel around here. So just going to go through each one. And I find it easier to do this on the mat, so keeping everything on where it's supposed to go. Oops, it's flipping on me. Sorry about that. Maybe pick it up is easier, actually. I'm not sure. Can't decide. And there's a lot of thread going on right now, but that's going to get easier here in just a second.
Yeah. And it's only the 3 beads, Danielle, right? It's the GemDuo in the center. It's the SuperDuo that makes those kind of petals around. And then it's the cube. Now, the cube that we're using is the small. It's the 1.8 millimeter cube. Do you think that you could substitute an 11-aught for that cube, or do you think that there's no substitution for it?
I think an 11
questions.
Yeah, I think lots of other beads could actually work. So these cubes are 1.8 millimeters, and a Miyuki 11-0, they're tending to go for about 1.2 to 1.4 millimeters. So you'll have a little more space, but I still think it would work. I feel like it would. I also had this dream of drops. If drops would be cute. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, the Miyuki drops could definitely work in there for sure.
Yeah. And little crystals too, like little fire polishes might, like 2 millimeter fire polish, I wonder.
Would look great. And since this is such a kind of an easy thread path that you're not, you get it down pretty quickly, kind of playing around with the different beads and stuff, experimentation would be pretty easy.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be. And so now we're ready to add, this is an optional change here if you like it, but in the designs, I did an extra color of SuperDuo to do the jumps between the medallions.
Oh, I see. You did do, you know what? It's such a smooth transition. I didn't realize it was a different color. I love it.
Stand out super much on that one. And on the other sample, I went with blue, and it just looks like it's part of the GemDuo.
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice.
But that's optional. You could always just go with the color you're using for the main, and that would be
Right.
totally fine. You can really make it your own, especially if you're doing some color blocking and things like that. So I'll go ahead and just stick with how it's illustrated, just so it matches.
Okay.
Grab the alternate color, and then I'm just going to go through the next outside hole of the next SuperDuo. And if it flips on you like mine did, just tighten that up. So far, so good. Everything's coming along. And just more cubes. We've seen more cubes to go around. I'm going to travel this way.
I'm rustling in my SuperDuos. I hope my rustling isn't too loud.
No, it's actually soothing because I feel like I'm in the room beading with you.
Yes, exactly. Beating together. Yes, you've kind of fired up my my SuperDuo brain, which is a good thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that brown and green combo. Karen is saying she loves the sweet potato colorway. I love it too. I really like them both. I keep thinking I'm landing on one favorite color, but they both are so so cool. Look at that, really just has a kind of a fun ancient look to it. I love it.
Yeah, and this was our original, and it to me it looks like yams almost too. Like a
Yeah.
depends on if you're thinking Thanksgiving or if you're thinking. I love that it looks ancient, like almost.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really does. And that little extra pop of color with that blue Super Duo in there, I think really makes it's really great.
I couldn't resist that. It was
Yeah.
the nebula color. I think that was
Mhm.
so pretty. Yeah,
I
nebula.
love that nebula finish.
That's like my favorite. It's so pretty. So we're almost to the end of step 2. We just have one last cube bead to add, and then there's some traveling around because we want to get over here. So
Mhm.
I've got my last cube, and if you can, usually I can. It's actually easier if you can try to get through the Super Duo and the stitch in the next Super Duo and the cube if you can, because otherwise, getting the needle in at that spot is challenging sometimes, but easier to do in one swoop at this spot right here. So I aim for that usually, but you can still do it. It'll still work. And so far, there we go.
Gotcha. Now look at again that component. It's almost complete on its own. If we turned it so that Ramada is up at the top,
Mhm.
um, it would just be a fantastic earring component as well. Really great.
Oh, yeah. Now I see what you were saying earlier. That
Yeah.
makes sense totally, because you could put that one here.
Right. You could put it here. Right. Exactly. Or you could, Danielle, even if you take that one, I know it's kind of wide, but I don't think it's too wide as an earring. But either way, you could do it that way,
Yeah.
long ways, and have it be an earring component like that. Or you could just turn it as is, have the ear wire attach instead of the clasp. And it would just be kind of a wide earring with some fringe possibilities and stuff at the bottom.
Oh, indeed. Yes, that would be so cool.
I'm always ready for fringe possibilities.
Me too. I think I love that. I love that so much. I hope you do it.
Well, we'll see. You never know. You never know.
Kind of had me at fringe. So
Yeah, same. Let's see.
and so I'm just going through all these beads, and this is the almost to the last part of step 2. And it's just kind of getting where I need to be at this point. And it also reinforces one of the sides. And so from here, when you get to the spot, you'll go through the outside hole of the last Super Duo. And then if you can, try to get through the inside hole of the one that's right next to it. And how that looks on the illustration is you're just coming through right here. And then we're going to make a turn to bring us outside to this side. And that will complete step 2.
All right. We're cooking.
Yeah. So there's my turn. And right where I want to be to start the next one. And so the next part is, it's actually super easy, and I feel like it's intuitive. And there's one spot where you're going to want to kind of get the tension tight, and I'll point that out. But we're basically just going to create the next center point and link it with what's essentially these two SuperDuos here.
Mm.
And so how that looks is, I'm just going to grab one of my SuperDuos. I saw me check both of the holes there. I'm going to do that though. And then once you've strung that on, get it as close as you can to the other bead, and make a turn through the second hole in that SuperDuo. And it's going to be kind of just a little bit wonky at first. It's going to be a little crazy, like that even, right? But if you grab the thread and hold the bead and pull pretty tightly, and it'll bring it right next to it.
Nice.
And there's another chance to do this again, so don't worry. We get to do this tightening motion again here. And then here's the next GemDuo. So I'm going to make sure I have that dome side up. And this time I'm going to head through the hole in this direction. So I want to go through it that way. And then I'll grab another SuperDuo bead, string that on. And we want to just make this connection here now. So the best way to do that is to go ahead and go through the next SuperDuo. And if you can, get through all of those, just like that.
Oh yeah, just one big movement.
Yeah, so it's kind of like almost peyote a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another opportunity, if needed, for you to tighten it. You can just kind of put your thumbnail next to that SuperDuo and just pull, and it'll connect those nice and tight. And so that puts us right here, exiting from that spot right there.
Mm.
And we're done with step 3. And step 4 is kind of like, we're going to start sort of kind of repeating what we did for the first one. It's a little different because we already have these two. On the first one, we had to string 6, but we've already got these, so we're only going to need 5 from here out when we do each of the new segments.
Mm.
I also get myself to the exiting from the inside hole of this top one, because right now we're down here. So I need to make a turn, which is another chance to reinforce that connection there. It's a nice self-reinforcing thread path. And then I'll get through, add all of these, and we'll end up right here when we finish step 4. So I'm going to do that turn really quick. And I just do that turn in one swoop, if I can. It's kind of, you gotta pull it a little bit. But if you wiggle the needle just a tiny, tiny bit, you might be able to get through all 3 of those. And if it loosens on you, you can just pull that other thread again and tighten it.
Nice. And Terry's saying here she never realized the size discrepancy between the SuperDuo and the GemDuo. And I think this really illustrates it well. I always forget that SuperDuos are a little smaller than I think they are. But yeah, see, there's that earring. I see my earring coming together. Danielle, look at that. Look at, with just that, look at how great. I love it. I know this is a bracelet. I know it is.
You can absolutely
start it. I'm ready to put that on my ear.
You could probably whip up an earring like right now.
Right. I know. I'm actually, I have some SuperDuos out as well that I'm playing with. So we'll see what happens.
Sweet. Yeah. And so I've got, because we already have this one here, just remember we're going for 6 total, but we have this one. So we're going to only add 5 this time. Mm-hmm. 5 more, and then head through the other side of the GemDuo. It likes to flip on me. There we go. So there's one side done, and then I just need 5 more. Oh, hey, I got a blocked one. There you go. Oh, thank you guys.
All right.
I get super lazy.
What's that? Sorry.
I get super lazy about checking, so it was actually really good.
Yeah, same. I'm all, yeah. Now, I love also the way that this has a lot of opportunity for different color ways and stuff because, just looking at all the super duos that we carry, there's so many great finishes, so many great colors. You can really personalize this to exactly how you like it. So many good ideas have been tossed around in the comments for different color inspirations. I just love it.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see. I saw, Raku in the comments. Yes to Raku.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Love that.
That's like everybody's favorite mix, that raku mix.
I would really think that would be very, very stunning.
Yeah. Oh, careful.
So we're right about here, and we're ready to go into step 5 now. And so for step 5, I'm just going to complete this journey. See, we're starting to go through the inside hole of that last super duo there. So going to complete that journey through it. And I need to go through these beads around here. And when you get to this side, we'll be adding another super duo. And then we'll travel through to do our cubes and we'll make a turn. So this is kind of a big step, but it's mostly, to some extent, it's a little bit of traveling and then cubes addition. So from here, from where we are right here, we just go through our super duo. And if you can get through the GemDuo and the next super duo, great. If not, you can always just kind of try to help it go through. Sometimes I'm not able to get through the super duo. Yeah, and this time I'm not able to. So I'm going to keep going here. There we go. So that's joined. And it's easier if you do end up like me where you're stuck with your thread not quite through the super duo. I find it easier to do on the flat side instead of the dome side.
Mm-hmm.
So I just flip that over and I'm going to get my needle through that way. And if I can get through 2, that's great. And my goal is to get around through all of them. And this is about the only spot where having a 12 helps, but you see I'm doing it without much effort with a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's okay. I went ahead and continued through the GemDuo bead. And then from here, I'm going to go through the next super duo inside hole. And then we make that turn. And I just flipped it over to be right sides. So see, we're coming out of this one right here. I'm just going to make a turn through this one.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was this little turn right here. So we just did this little trip around. And then we're just going to go through. We just did that little turn. And now it's time to add our next super duo. Again, I'm just going to use that accent color. And so we've got that ready to go. And now I need more cubes. And it's just cubes all around.
All right.
Cubes or drops or just beads, all of that will work super good.
Mm-hmm. And on the finished bracelet, you have 2, 4, 6, 8. You've got 10, it looks like, of those components, right?
Yes, and 10 will give you a beaded length of, I think I wrote down about 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I put it in the handout. My memory's fading.
Yeah. And so if you need to make it a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, you can kind of play around with, with how many of those you add. You could certainly add an extra one, or you could, at the ends, maybe do a kind of some little fancy, little extra super duo or something maybe on the end just to kind of play around with it. But You could also connect it to chain to make it a little more adjustable that way too, if you wanted to.
Oh, a chain would be really pretty.
To make it adjustable.
And sometimes I forget how many I did on the samples. The ones I have here, I think I did 10 on those, I think.
Yeah, that's what I have over here too.
And I thought that was pretty good. And it could be actually, I wish there was a way to make it so that you could have 7s, you could do a chakra. That would be
Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
maybe a statement, like a really long earring.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the chakra colors, but then you could do like the rest in black, or a good kind of background color might be kind of fun.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud.
That would be so neat. And now you've really got my mind turning about how to suspend them in this direction, because
Right.
everything we're doing here would completely work with it turned this way. You would have the connection just be here, and you just do the stitch path at a 90-degree angle there.
Right.
And it would be great. So that is so cool. I wish I'd thought of that.
Well, a little bit of collaboration never hurt anyone.
I know, it's so cool. So we actually just finished all of step 5 there.
Awesome.
We finished the end of that step. And so from here, to get to the length that you'd like it to be, you just go back and repeat from the step where you're adding your next segment. So we're currently right here, which is pretty much where you're left off at the end of step 2.
Right.
Start adding and just repeating that and that and that until you have. Now, when you get to the very last one, and we could do one more if you feel like doing one more segment on that.
Yeah, let's do it. We've got time, Danielle. Let's do one more.
Let's do it. Okay.
And then we will. Then we'll do the closure.
Perfect. Yeah. And then you can see what 3 looks like, because I felt like 3 was, if you did it in this direction, 3 was a really nice like length for an earring.
Yeah, it would look great as an earring. You could also, with those closures, that could be a just like a component, right? I mean, you could make that a beautiful component in a necklace. You could string from those little the little symbols components, the endings that you put on there. That would look great.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Right?
I think I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Right, I know, right? I'm ready to be cozy and bead all day.
Me too. I'm just adding. I'm repeating step 3. Just adding the next little section here. It's coming along, and now I need 5 SuperDuos. And another cool little piece of info is I made both of our samples, the ones you have, Kate, and the one that I finished here. Only 1 tube.
Oh, great.
And I still have all of this left.
Oh, fantastic.
In fact, I'll dump them all out in case I think I'm probably going to need them. So here's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our 6th one there. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go through the other side of my GemDuo. Pull that tight. And I was just thinking aloud, but because I did the accent color, and I have a ton of the accent color left, like loads of it, I'll have probably enough of these, because you only need a few beads. You need like what? Only 9 to 11, depending on the number of repeats. Only 9 to 11 of your accent color. We could flip it, so that could become the accent. I'm sure I'll have 11 or 10 or 11 of those left at the end. And I could just go and make another one.
Oh, gotcha. It would be, cool to do a reverse in it.
Yeah. It's a stash buster. Sure. I would like to see that too. I think that would be really pretty. Yeah, so
Yeah,
here oh, go ahead.
I like that high contrast between the center bead and the super duos around it.
Yeah, me too. It makes it pop. Yeah, I had some help from Janice picking this cranberry colorway. I believe that was, I mean, we were going back and forth with it, but she suggested the bright cranberry color for the season, and then we just ran with it from there.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
I hit one of my little light reflectors with my arm.
Oh.
I'm wielding one of these really long strands, and I'm just like it's really handy though, because you can see watch what happens. It gets really dark, see? And it gets bright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are handy for sure.
They're super nice, but there's a lot of stuff going on the desktop.
Yeah, same.
And there we go. So I have finished on that spot right there. Well, I'm just cruising right along. I'm already kind of halfway through step 5 at this point. And so it's time to add this one here. And some cubes all around. And I think I get quicker after I've made a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get warmed up.
Yeah, your fingers start to know what's going on for sure.
Yeah, then the brain is working less hard, I feel like.
Right.
And I just really like that the way that this is headed, the direction it goes. See each chance to lock in those connections there because these I actually changed this thread path about between making the first and second samples. I changed it to have this little travel step right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to get us here for all these reinforcing steps, to make an extra trip through that.
Right. And the reinforcing, you're using the fire line, which I really like for this project. And just that little reinforcing step that is automatically in there, then you don't really have to think about, oh, now should I go back? Should I, should I reinforce this? Should I not? You kind of make it all super easy that way.
It's like that delivery service optimization program where it's like deliver package A, B, C, D in the following order.
Yeah, right.
Least path.
Love it.
And there it is. We have another repeat done.
All right.
So it really doesn't take much time to complete these. They're really fast. Great gift idea.
Yeah, really, really fun.
And if I'd put a ramada here, this is like super simplest path to earring.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be to pop a gem at the bottom of that, or a charm, like a really cute charm with a little jump ring, ear wire at the top. That's a great earring link.
Yeah, it is a great earring link.
Yeah, and so here is, let's bring this over. This one is left at kind of midway in step, well, it's actually at just after the travel path is complete of step 5. So that's where I left it off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where something different happens. And so that is basically it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to go ahead and add the next clasp instead of doing a accent SuperDuo.
Oh, gotcha. You just put in the ramada.
Yeah, super easy. So basically, that spot right there, you just pop it for one of those.
Instead it's one of those. That's perfect.
And so let's see where I'm at. I'm through this SuperDuo right here. So I'm like right there. So I'm going to turn and go through here. And then here's where I would normally add that SuperDuo. I'm going to grab the ramada go through. And now my bracelet's basically done. I just gotta do the cubes. This one had a different cube color. I used this like kind of rainbowy one, more of a matte.
And there are a couple of questions that I'll ask you, Danielle, that people have in the comments when you're ready.
Sure.
Now, let's talk about your thread length real quick. You did it so you didn't have to add thread. Is that correct?
I did, yes, at 10 repeats.
Okay. So let's say, and do you remember the length? It's probably in your handout, I'm sure.
It was about a wingspan for me, so 60-ish
Okay.
inches or so.
Okay. And then let's say that though you had to add some thread, where would you add? Debbie's asking, could you use the magic knot on this to add thread? Would you just wind it in or weave it in? What's your thought?
I think you could do the magic knot.
Okay.
But weaving it in is safer as far as a knot through a SuperDuo. But if I'm being 100% honest, I would do the knot because I'm just bold like that.
Right. Same.
You might struggle pulling it through the SuperDuo. You might have to. The worst thing that'll happen is it will disrupt your tension when you're trying to pull the knot through. But you know what? It worked, and I have done it before. These when I was kind of just doing the beginning, playing around with it, I had a very short piece of thread, and I did do the knot on that.
Right. And the magic knot, is that is that when you I know I've seen it done, but my knotting skills are failing me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we could show it. There's two versions. One.
Do you mind if I put you on the spot, because a lot of people are asking?
Yeah, I'm just glancing around, making sure I have my burner. So there's two ways you can do it. If you're using Fireline is it's melty. So all you have to do is just an overhand knot. I'll show that. Let's grab.
Because that's what I do. I just do an overhand knot to knot it together pretty much.
And that totally works with Fireline. If it's not Fireline, there's another way you can do it. And that way, let's show both. So here's
why not? We've got time. This is so good. This is so good.
It's so this is the easy Fireline way. I think I have not been able to get this to work with other threads though. But this is really just an overhand knot and an overhand knot. So like I'm tying a double knot with my shoelaces.
Right.
So when you pull these apart, notice they're going to move substantially. So, but if you mushroom the ends with a burner, let's see, the ends of the tails, so the little short ends. So just bring on a little burner. Same thing on this side.
Right, and that acts as the stopper. So smart. You know, at this point, I just glue. I haven't used the thread burner. Oh my God. What? Danielle, I think you've just changed my life.
Circulation.
Yeah, I glue it and then let it dry, and then I clip it really close, and then I pray to the bead gods that it's not coming apart. That tip with mushrooming those ends, that's fantastic.
The lady who taught me this, she was her husband was a fisherman, and this was his tip.
So smart.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So then when you go through SuperDuo, it's just a little bit, you'll have to help it. Actually, mine just went through perfectly. That wasn't bad at all.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Oh, that's fantastic. You really, everyone in the comments is saying that, yeah, you've just blown everyone's mind. That is fantastic.
Oh, thanks. I love that one. Yeah, it's a fun one. If you're not working with Fireline and you want to try this, there's one other way. And this works. It makes a little bit bigger knot, but it's not, I think it'll still work with this. So let's pretend it's like let's KO or something. You'll take and make a loop. When you make this loop, make sure that the tail side is behind the long side and just kind of pinch it like that.
Mhm.
Tail here, and that tail is passing behind this part. And we'll just pinch it there. And let's grab a new strand. With that new strand, also make a loop. And in this case, it doesn't matter. You can just make a loop with it.
Mhm.
Bring that loop through, and I'm coming from underneath it through this loop. And then put that tail through the loop. It's a little tricky to get it to go, but and once you've got that through, just go ahead and pull that. And this knot won't move as easily. Well, mine,
Right.
let me try again, actually. I noticed with one Jada's, I wonder if I have any KOs next to me.
That's the one I think that I use more. There's kind of like a knitting knot that's kind of like that, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to try. The Fireline is so slippery that
It is a slippery customer for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to try one more time, though. So here's my loop. I feel determined. This absolutely works with KO, NG, all those things. Here's my other loop. Bring that through. And pull tight. And we'll see if it still slips. No, it still does. Okay, so with Fireline, you're going to have to do the thingy with the burning thingy.
Yeah, because it is such a slick little thread.
But try that with your KO, because that worked for me the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine.
That's a fantastic tip.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for doing that for us.
Yeah, no worries. I wish it worked with the other one, but at least you know the steps. So
yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, and so this is ready to go pretty much for weaving in. And so if you wanted to just weave in a new strand, the way to do that is the same way that I'm going to show you here for getting this one woven in. And so I'll get my needle back on here really quick. So when you finish this step, you'll basically have so what we did here is we added the Ramada in place of this bead. And then we just went around and added all of our cube beads. And now I'm basically right here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Ramada here, so I'm not going to be doing this turn. I'm just going to weave in from here. And from here, I'll just go through some beads. So 3 turns is usually what you need. I believe I got that from you guys.
Well, it's all, it's hard to get the provenance of who learned what where, because it's we're just one big bead family. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just making some turns, generally some turns through the beads, just random.
Right.
Let's see, maybe go back this way. And I feel like that's enough, for a secure finish for weaving in. But if you want it the cool thing about the knots is that there's some places to hide them in here if you're using the cube beads especially.
Right.
So if you wanted to do a half-hitch knot, you could do one in front of a SuperDuo heading into a cube.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would hide both the knot and the tail. So for example, you would, from here, just exiting a SuperDuo, maybe grab red there by going under it and pull.
Mm-hmm.
And then come up through, and I would go through it maybe twice.
Yeah, just for a little extra love.
Because I saw how easily that other knot went through my SuperDuo.
Right, exactly.
So I'm going to go through the next cube bead, maybe the next SuperDuo, maybe do that one more time.
And there's a question about what is the length of each component. I've got a ruler here between the it's about 3/4 of an inch-ish, I guess. Is that?
I would say so, yeah. And if you're counting the SuperDuos, if you're counting just each repeat, it's closer to like maybe 1/2 inch or so.
1/2 inch, right.
But this one right here with 10, right to the end of the stitch in is going to give you the 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you do a jump ring in your clasp, you're out at 6 1/2, 6 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the clasp. Like this one's giving me a little more length. I feel
Right.
like.
'Cause that one is a little bit bigger. And you can also adjust. We have those really fun, what do I want to call them? The acrylic clasps, which are just really fun to work with. Um, I think they add quite a bit, I think, to the design for sure.
Yeah, they really do. They're so pretty. I think those are the greatest clasps. I love them.
Yeah, they are pretty. I was looking at the one with the verdigris on it, the green.
Oh, yes, I have that one here. Is that this one? No, this is the
Yeah,
olive. Yeah.
that's just the plain gold, but there's the one that has like it's the black with the flowers and it has kind of a gold and kind of that coppery green color to it. I love it.
Oh, yeah, that would be pretty with this one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that would be great
Oh
with
yeah,
this one.
you've got that one. Yeah, yeah, there it is.
Oh, look at
Love
that.
I love that color.
Oh, I didn't even think it's been sitting here in front of me and my brain didn't connect the dots.
Well, I've just had my hands on it, which is why it was in my in my brain, you know.
And that one has more of a gold or a bronze on the loop, so maybe
Mhm. Yeah,
this
that
one
would look
seems to be
great.
like a silver. So yeah, either
Yeah.
of these is going to be a gorgeous way to finish that. That's
Yeah, for sure. And they're nice, sturdy clasps for sure. The magnet in those suckers is really strong.
oh yeah, they're very cool. And I was loving the black on this one. I thought that looks cool.
Yeah, same. That black definitely has a vintage kind of feel to it for sure.
That's so nice. I'm gonna wear this one now.
Love it. Love it. And so you just connected it, Danielle, with a jump ring. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yes, I have those here. I just brought those on, and let me grab my little pliers. Now I'm gonna go with this one now because you guys have inspired me.
All right.
I'm gonna trim this side really quick. There we go. And we'll pop those on there. That's so funny. It's magnetized to this.
Yeah, that's always with those. It's always sometimes a little bit of a struggle to get them on with your with the plier because it wants to stick.
I might need to weave this side in, but I can just pop the clasp on first.
Yeah.
For a second here. To weave that side in is super easy. Same thing. You just gotta go through some beads, make some turns, half hitch knot if you feel like it,
Mhm.
and then you've got it. And earlier, I was thinking that I needed to worry about the direction of the clasp, but I don't because it separates and you can just spin it, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I don't really need to worry about that, although it's sorry, it's moving around. It sticks to the metal
Yeah, it
pliers.
sticks to the pliers. I know. I'm like, it's the
It's super
only drawback sometimes putting those clasps on. You're like, come on, man. Let's get that together.
there we go, I got it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Look at
Isn't
that.
it pretty? I love it.
Oh,
I
nice.
love it.
Totally stackable.
Yeah, completely stackable. And are you wearing another bracelet?
Oh, yeah, it's a pipe chain stitch design.
Yeah, it looks great. Is that one you did with Neela? That's the silver silk that you're wearing there.
Yep.
So cool. Love it.
This is the pipe chain.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It's
It
really
matches.
great. Yeah, it really looks good. I know you also do some tutorials for Neela over at Silver Silk, so those are also really a fun watch for sure. We just love that Silver Silk over here at Bead Shop as well. We're going to have to do a collab. I keep telling Neela we're going to have to get a collaboration going on, but there's never enough hours in the day.
Yeah, that would be so awesome. That
Yeah,
would be
it'd be
very
fun. Well, any parting words on this, Danielle? Words of wisdom that you have to share? It was pretty straightforward. I know that we can consult that excellent handout that you did to get more info, um, or just to follow the thread path and all of that good stuff. So, thank you so much for putting that together for us.
Thank you. Thank you for inspiring it with these beautiful components and beads. It's so gorgeous. That was
Yeah, it
really fun.
looks great. Looks great. Well, I'll show you. I'll add, let me see. Let's add all of I'll stop doing that one. You can see the mess now that I have on my, I was beading along with you. I pulled out some SuperDuos, and all of those symbol ends that they're doing now. This is an old piece. Drea did this a while back as a necklace. And what a surprise. I still haven't finished mine. But this is that ending I'm looking for the bag here so I can remember. It's the one that looks like it kind of has the little bally things on it. And look at how it fits.
That's perfect. It's a gorgeous earring.
Right into the end. So I don't know, maybe this could be bracelet wise. And I'm playing around with this one here. You got me thinking about earrings. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I love the way that SuperDuos just fall right into themselves, right? They're so
Those were
fun.
so cool.
Well, I really appreciate you inspiring me to do some things. So we'll see where the earring stuff takes it. Love, love, love.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to see. It's going to be so cool.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, thank you, Danielle, so much for all of your hard work with us today. So appreciated. Everybody is saying they can't wait to make the design. Here, don't forget, the project is all there. You can find Danielle's really, really comprehensive handout there. And don't forget, my friends, I'm going to put this up real quick. Join us over on social, of course, over at the bead table. Whoops, let me get this comment off so you can see it, everything. Join us over on Facebook and post the designs that you'd make over on the bead table. We'd love to see what you make with this design inspired by Danielle's pieces. You can also put them on social for us. Hit us up at beadshop.com. Our Pinterest pages are full of great ideas. And on our YouTube channel, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you never miss a broadcast, especially with wonderful people like Danielle. And if you have any questions, my friends, don't forget to hit us up over at beadshop.com. Now let me uncover you here. And thank you. You're going to be back with us in December.
Yep.
For the bracelet. Just wait, folks. Just wait until you see this great, fantastic bracelet you have coming up. Danielle gave me a little sneak peek of it before the broadcast, so I'm excited to share that with you coming up in the next few weeks. But thank you, Danielle, to you and Janice. The two of you put this together. It was fantastic. I just got to sit back and watch events unfold, which is awesome. So we really appreciate it. Now, Nancy, just as a reminder, the handout, if you go right over to beadshop.com, this project is right on the homepage under SuperDuo scallop bracelets. Click on that. You'll see the projects and you'll see a button for the handout. And it's totally free for you to download. So we really appreciate you, Danielle, putting all of that effort. It's like a little gift from you to all of us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it.
Well, we appreciate it. All right, my friend, we can't wait to have you back. And where should people find you? Social, I know you're all over social media. Your Instagram is a great place to follow you. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Instagram at Danielle Wickes Jewelry. And my website is super easy, DanielleWickesJewelry.com. And I mostly just post patterns and tutorials there.
Wonderful. Great. Well, we'll hit you up. Everybody can hit you up on social. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. All right, my friend. Well, we'll see you back here in December.
I can't wait.
All
See you
right.
then.
Thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you next time. I'll see you on Friday, everybody, I'll see you. It is Friday. I'll see you next week. What day is it? Who are you? What are you doing on my screen? I will see you next Wednesday for our next episode in our masterclass series for Wire. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon.